La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hi. This is not the normal format of my videos, but you know what? I wanted to take part in something that was just outside of my own channel. A year ago, Nando V Movies decided to unite YouTubers together, and they assembled to talk about the MCU in one marvelous scene. So, this year, they decided to do that, but with any pieces of X-Men media. So, I was ecstatic, and you know what? I'm adding my own part as my one excellent scene. And don't just check out mine, check out the entire playlist. Hope you appreciate it. The X-Men is a series of Marvel superheroes that are designed to represent oppressed and struggling minorities that are rejected from the societies they live in. So, when it came to looking through all the X-Men media I've ever crossed in my life, it gave me a lot of options for my one excellent scene. So, I considered those options. I don't have much to contribute to the movie conversations like Dark Phoenix, the original trilogy, or Logan. I've seen other YouTubers cover Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, First Class, and the 90s cartoon. I personally don't count the Deadpool movies as part of it. Kind of like how Spider-Man is an Avenger but has his own series. So this left my candidates as Wolverine the X-Men, Fox's last animated X-Men series back in 2011. It had Wolverine reunite the X-Men and does a better job doing the Phoenix Saga than anything else Fox has tried. X-Men Evolution. It's a very unique spin on X-Men, despite being very early 2000s in style. This one took the younger X-Men and gave teens and preteens at the time a more relatable team. X-Men the official game. It's a GameCube game that continues and in a sense redeems a lot of the mistakes made by the original trilogy. It's fun to play as Wolverine and Nightcrawler, but I hate the Iceman levels. And there is no way that I can possibly convey how much the Iceman levels frustrate me in a video. There is no way that I can just communicate that. But eventually I remembered something that stood out to me as my best choice. This was one X-Men comic book that I got to read over and over, understand, and enjoy. You see, when I grew up, my access to the X-Men was the original 90s VHS tape, so I've seen Days of Future Past Part 1 and 2 enough that I can quote it line for line, word for word.
Everything you believe in will lie in ashes,
and the X-Men are going to die. It all starts with a single death in Washington, D.C. But my other exposure was through a few of the comics my parents had gotten. The issue is that only one of them was actually a modern X-Men story. The others were from the 80s and 90s, but they were very late into their runs. So, me trying to pick one of those up, I would just hear about the legacy virus or Wolverine coming back from the dead, and would completely not understand where I was in the story. So, I wanted to start with the one that I kept reading over and over. Wolverine, First Class, #1. The Buddy System. This comic starts with Kitty Pryde in her room. She's beginning a diary entry about adjusting to her first day at the Xavier Institute. She's then invited outside to play volleyball with a few other members of the school. In this scene, we get to see Storm, Angel, the ever-lovable Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Kitty Pryde playing a game of volleyball. Unlike most superhero bases, the Xavier Institute isn't just a base, it's a home. It's a safe haven to those rejected by society. It gives them a place where they can just be themselves, where you'll see them just casually using their powers, because they learned how to not be a danger to themselves or anyone else, even in a game of volleyball. Kitty is soon summoned to the Cerebro Chamber by Professor Charles Xavier. She then has a quick flashback where she explains what it was like before she came here. She felt like her life was over when she discovered her powers. She kept them hidden because she was afraid what would happen if anyone found out. But one thing I'd like to focus on is the wording. I was so ashamed. The X-Men has always been an allegory for feeling like a minority. Nothing is more relatable than feeling shamed. Ashamed of something that they were born with. People don't choose to be oppressed. They don't choose to be a minority. Though they might choose to hide it if they can. That's why having the professor offering a safe place by the Xavier Institute is such a big deal. Xavier tells Kitty that she's going to have her first lesson today. Then Wolverine shows up, and Xavier sends them off on a mission to find a mysterious mutant in distress that he detected. They get close to the mission site, and Wolverine tries to leave Kitty behind in the jet. Not that he hates her or thinks she can't contribute. He's afraid that he'll put her in danger. But trying to stop a mutant with phasing powers by using a locked door is like trying to drown Aquaman. It's not happening. Eventually they arrived where the distress signal was, only to be attacked by a mob so enraged and fearful to the point of being irrational. The girl and I got no beef with you, bub. We just... Shut up! You're in league with Barry Winston. I know it. He borrowed my weed whacker and never returned it. What? After Logan draws his claws to defend himself, the mob realizes they're mutants and are just as hateful. They even begin to make up new reasons to hate them. One line from the original X-Men cartoon that Storm says is, "People fear what they do not understand." It's a central theme of the best X-Men stories and is even present here. Like arachnophobia, prejudice is an irrational fear. A spider being in your room doesn't put you in danger. Your brain might panic if it sees one, but it doesn't mean they're dangerous. Most of the time, they're just minding your own business and aren't plotting ways to hurt you. In fact, according to an article by John P. Raftery of Encyclopedia Britannica, more than 43,000 different species of spiders are found in the world. Of these, only a small number are said to be dangerous, and only 30, that's less than 0.1%, have been responsible for human deaths. That's how irrational fears work. It's an internal thing, not supported by reality. That's why it's so tough to fight. Prejudice is based on a similar fear of being in danger because another group exists. It sums up the difference between the X-Men and other superhero teams that were created alongside them. They aren't superpowered celebrities with real-world problems. That's the Fantastic Four. They aren't gods among men, trusted with the entire universe on their shoulders like the Justice League. They aren't even an unlikely team of established heroes who come together against a common threat. That's the Avengers. The X-Men are the societal outcasts, the people unrecognized or unjustly hated in our world. Even as their rights and lives are in danger, they protect the same people who continue to hate them the next day and the day after that. It's noble as it is tragic. During the fight with the mob, Wolverine and Kitty are both struck with a sudden urge, an animalistic sense of fear. Wolverine goes full rage and begins to take down the angry mob on his own. I've got enough hate for all of you put together! While Kitty panics and runs. She comes across a house that's been vandalized with the word mutant spray painted on it several times. Inside, she finds a picture of a happy and very strange looking elf girl being accepted by her peers. She grabs a jacket from the house and goes to Wolverine to track the scent. And this is one of my favorite interactions for just the sheer hilarity of this line. Wolverine, stop! I know what's happening. You have to.
Have to? Have to? Does it look like I have to do anything?
Nah, Wolverine, you don't have to do anything. You do have to take a chill pill, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Never mind, I misspoke. But yeah, she appeals not to his fear or his anger, but the book puts it best. The beast inside Wolverine got under control by the hero within him.
Okay, kid. Give it here.
By tracking the scent, they were able to find the mutants that was causing this disturbance. She was stranded in the woods. Her ability was she was an empath. She was trying to project her emotions out to send a distress signal. But all she sent out was fear, and it drove the entire town into a crazy rage. Back at the X Mansion, Logan confronts Xavier about how he knew this mutant was an empath. But Xavier tells Logan that the fear of himself is what's been keeping him closed off. And he decided to pair him with a new X-Men like Kitty to help balance that out. At first, he storms off in a rage, but that leads up to this all-important One X-cellent Scene.
Like I said, a day of firsts. The main one being...
Kitty Pride! Come on down.
Why? Another volleyball game? This is the first time I feel like I really belong here.
Nah, I'm not much of a team player. I just bought a used motocross bike out of the local penny saver. Want me to show you how to pop wheelies without a helmet?
Do I? And you know what the funny thing is? I don't think I'm the only one. Love, Kitty.
The Buddy System, brought to you by Fred Van Lente and Andrea DeVito.
This is the first time I really belong here. 12 words, but they encapsulate the importance of the X-Men. This idea of a safe haven, of a place to belong, it calls out to people. I know it did for me. I have ADHD and autism. I'm considered biologically different from what is a normal human. It's both been an asset and a struggle in my life, and it wasn't something that I got from a radioactive spider or from a lab experiment. I didn't build it in a cave with a box of scraps! And it wasn't given to me by a magical alien space horse. It's something I was born with and I live with. It's a part of me, and often it does make connecting with people a challenge. But that's what being different feels like. Feeling like you don't belong. That's all people who feel excluded want. That's all minorities want. For their differences to be normalized, accepted, and part of them, but not how they are defined. And that is why, that is my One X-cellent Scene. I hope you enjoyed it, and you check out the rest of the playlist. Signing off. Hello! Okay, wow, it's the end of the video and you haven't left yet? You must really like the sound of my voice. So I can tell you this, I have a few more projects coming up. For one, we have my favorite X-Men Nightcrawler, and I'm doing a video about him. There's also going to be a video for the Power Pack, which is a Marvel comic series not many people have heard of for some reason. I referenced it with the line Magical Alien Space Horse. And then, of course, a Doctor Who video. Now, another thing is also, I have a website called theinfiniterift.com, which features many of my video game projects, and a few game demos that are already ready to be played. And on top of that, if you check out this YouTube channel, you'll find my series Random Draw Time. It's a series that I created this channel for, but I'll be adding in new segments as I go. And then finally, if you're not tired after all of that, I have something coming up that's extra special for Halloween. I can't wait to show you guys. Have a wonderful day. Signing off. Ugh, man, now I can finally go and eat dinner. Woo!